Last week was August 13th and 6.7 Update 3 was announced. Well, today it became available. And here it is. August 20th. That is today. So, I want to do an update. I've got this article here, and I want to test it. But the first thing you got to do is back up and then update your VCSA. So I kick that off, and I'm 1,000 miles from home, so not exactly convenient. If something goes wrong, well, something went wrong with my recording. Oh well, it's lost. But anyhow, where was I? I was updating my VCSA appliance. So let's go ahead and have a look at that. Come on. And the VCSA appliance is hanging out here. That's the login for it. But how about VAMI for it? That was kind of weird. How about VAMI? VMware, kind of the backdoor way of getting into it. So when you point to your appliance, :5480, that's how you get in. And yes, it successfully did the upgrade. Okay, so that's the part of the video that's lost. It was me kicking off and doing a routine upgrade of 6.7 update to 6.7 update 3. Now, there was one thing that was not routine about it. I got a warning the first time I tried to do it, and it wouldn't proceed. So I rebooted the appliance and it worked great. So I'm just pointing that out. From 6.7 update 2 to 6.7 update 3, I had a little hiccup. Rebooted the appliance, tried again through the update button, and it worked fine. Okay, now let's see how this looks. It's doing another check, and it finds no applicable updates available. Alright, that's actually good news. Alright, now let's see if it's healthy. I did a snapshot, and I have backup software to handle my VCSA appliance, but a snapshot lets you roll back if things go horribly wrong, and for some reason you can't even log in, or you got other problems. It's just a home lab in my situation. I'm comfortable with going ahead with just deleting the snapshot once I'm sure that I'm able to log in. Now this login seems a bit slow to me. Think here, what's it running on, what storage? I'm not sure what my VCSA appliance is running on right now. It might not be my snappiest storage, but this login does appear to be kind of slow. So that's a little bit weird. Also, I'll point out I was doing a VCSA download, which is giant, from the website. And I don't really want to be doing that anymore. Let's see if I can kill that off. Okay. Looks like I'm not seeing the download going because I may have closed the dialog, which is unfortunate. But if we look here under downloads, it's paused. Alright. Anyhow, I'll worry about that later. Let me cancel that, and then this little progress bar and my Chrome icons that was driving me a little nuts should go away. And it did. Alright, notice we still have a retry, so I should be able to try that later. Anyhow. Back to the point of this video here. So we got the VAMI updated. We now want to log in. I can do it here or my standalone separate window, which seems to have failed. Okay, bouncing all over the place, probably driving you a little bit nuts. Let's try this again. My Chrome shortcut that simply logs me into my VCSA appliance. Alright, it's taking way too long. So that's not really confidence instilling. And remember I mentioned I had an error? Error method invocation. That was the error I got. Timeout and send a message to microserver. So I got a goofy error and rebooted. Alright, sorry this video is messy. I'm at a conference and then on a plane tomorrow, so I'm not going to have time to do anything about editing this video. It's going to be kind of raw and me just kind of thinking aloud for you here. Alright, well, how about I just try to log in from here? Gosh, that's not going well. Alright, let's point to host client, right to the host that this VCSA appliance is running on. Let's see what's going on. So it appears to be healthy. And it appears to respond and turn blue when I click on it. Let me just check out what kind of data store it's on. Is it particularly slow? Something going on here? Let's go to the properties, the edit settings. And look at the storage. And it's on a Samsung 850, a SATA drive. So it's not an M.2 NVMe drive. So naturally be a little slower. But the fact that I can't get in at all is alarming. Okay, deprecated. Interesting. Does it still let you launch the Adobe Flash version? I don't know. Alright, I'm going to try that with Firefox in a minute. But let me back arrow here and see if the vSphere web client comes up. Okay, I'm not seeing the whitelist ability for Adobe Flash Player either. So we've been warned for a long time that Adobe Flash has gone away. But is it true? Is the vSphere web client gone here? Okay. Login button is gray in Firefox. Boy, am I having some issues here. Long URL there. So deprecated. Alright, well, one has to wonder if it's just not really going, they're really operational yet. But remember, it looked like the GUI was there. So, don't quite know what to say there. How about VAMI? How's VAMI doing? Does the sum review show everything healthy? Good, good, checked, yeah. And again, if we check for any updates, of course we're not going to find any. You'll see the last one was 9:59, and very quickly, 6 minutes later, just ran it again. Nothing there. Where is it checking? Under settings, it's on the default repo. Are all the services up? Alright. I'm not sure what to say there, other than I may have a problem. But it's not a big problem, because I can always roll back to my previous snapshot before this thing was updated to 6.7 update 3. So, a bit disconcerting. So for official support, you want to do it in that order, VCSA first and then ESXi next. And got to figure out what is my next step going to be, given I'm having an error here. Stand by while I think for a bit. Alright, well, just doesn't want to allow me to log in, which is kind of a big deal. And that shortcut goes right to the login page, which is VCSA/login. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and reboot it. It's not really a great answer, but if it springs to life and works, well, I'm good with that. So we'll see what happens after the reboot. Pausing the video recording now. A couple minutes later. It's going to need more time than that. So it's about 10 minutes later. Let's see if VAMI comes up. Briefly, it showed installation progress. That was weird. But anyhow, yeah, it looks like VAMI logged right in. Cool. And now let's try this. And it's not looking so good. See if anything else works. Yeah. Oh, okay, it's still booting up. Alright. A little longer. Okay, it's 3 or 4 minutes later, and here we go. Trying to log in. Alright, well, I need to proceed with writing an article and screen grabs and all that of getting to 6.7 Update 3. So I'm going to leave VCSA behind for a little bit and proceed. Okay, PuTTY. I already got PuTTY going, but that's to the wrong host. So let's get PuTTY going to the right host, right server. So here we go. Alright, now covering backup and how to do it for ESXi on a USB key in my case. Again, beyond the scope of this video is focused on getting the actual upgrade done. I've already covered many times the various backup options you have. I tell you to read the whole article, update your VCSA, which I was trying to do, and then back up your hypervisor. Now, I'll be in an unsupported config having the hypervisor installed or upgraded before the VCSA, right? Again, lab, remote situation, limited for time, you get the idea. Alright, so here it is. There's the actual command I'm going to be getting in my clipboard. But what you do here is, well, you read my article like I said, you do your homework, you read the release notes and all that good stuff, follow the prerequisites that I just explained, perform an update with VMware vSphere Update Manager if you can. And not everyone has the licensing or the ability to do that. Turn on maintenance mode if you have any VMs going. Reboot if you haven't recently. I've done that. And see all available ESXi profiles. I'm good. Already know. And put this in my clipboard. So now I'm ready to actually do the work and actually get the upgrade going. So here we go. Alright, and now it says you can do a dry run and see what it's going to do before the actual run. Or we can go right for it. So if you put dry run at the end, it gives you a nice dress rehearsal of exactly what this upgrade is going to be like and what devices it'll update and so forth. So triple click gets it in the clipboard, but it also puts in a carriage return. So warning, once you do this, it's happening. Here it goes. Right click, paste. So it's now hitting the web. The ESXi server, the host, my 8-core Xeon D, is hitting the web, pulling down from the repository all the stuff it needs, and we'll end up with a 6.7 Update 3 system after the reboot. It's that simple with the ESXi CLI. In case you haven't actually stumbled on this article already, the whole point here is people that are waiting around for eval experience, VMUG Advantage eval experience to have Update 3, well, you don't have to. You can actually get it done right away. And you don't have to deal with boot order or going to the BIOS or burning CDs or physically dealing with USB. Remember, I'm over 1,000 miles away. It's pretty handy to have a single command you just paste in. And this is you watching me do a test to make sure this command actually, works. Alright, let's check out the release notes, by the way. And it covers something about vGPU and a bunch of device drivers. So I actually mention the device drivers vGPU release changes in there. And there's some more. A bunch of security bulletins as well. And some bug fixes. Alright, so in another minute or two we should see on the left a whole bunch of stuff. I'm going to put that in the clipboard and document it because I like to know everything that's in a release. Like the patches. Make that a little bigger. Here's all the patches. Post reboot required? Yeah, you bet. When you get a new hypervisor version, that's what this is. AMD EPYC is a big thing going on here, right? it includes AMD EPYC support and fixes for a bunch of errors, problem record numbers. Let's see if it has something about VMware Update Manager. Oh, how about VAMI, the shortened version of that? Okay. Alright, I expect very soon now, based on how long it takes for previous releases, for this to echo a whole bunch of stuff. And for you to see all of it, you need a bigger screen, bigger dimensions for that window. And for my usual screenshot I try to grab, I'm doing that. Sizing it just right. So hang in there a few more seconds. And I'll just point out here, 2019 is the year, August is next, and then 02. So this is probably built August 2nd, but released August 20th. But I'm not sure. That's what the syntax actually means. Just kind of parsing the numbers there. If you look back in time a little bit, you'll see dates like this. June 4th would be this June 20th release. Alright, it finished. That's awesome. And it doesn't all fit on one screen. The disadvantage to not actually being home with my much higher resolution screen. Oh wow. Okay, I got that in the clipboard. And actually there's some more steps. You remember after you get the after we did a firewall thingy? Well, let's undo that. Okay, so we've now done the actual command, the actual run right there. Okay, and then so I'll go ahead and put that on my clipboard. So yeah, the full transcript from login all the way to completion is now done. And I'm ready to reboot. So I'm actually going to hit enter here and let it reboot. Now over here I'm talking about some other stuff for Xeon D, optional drivers and all. I'm going to take a look into that in some depth. There's the 1 gig, the 10 gig, and VMI. Obviously after rebooting this host, it still works. It's also another thing to actually research that it's all supported. The actual version that's installed, the device driver for the 10 gig and 1 gig, might not match the firmware that I have and the recommendation from the VMware compatibility list. So it can get a little tricky after any upgrade to look into all that. So the reboot's happening. Putty croaks. That's totally expected. And let me head over here to my vSphere interface here, and I probably had a KVM running. Yes, I do. There you go. You see the Supermicro box rebooting. That's its BIOS splash screen, right? So my ESXi hypervisor is obviously not running right now. It's going to reboot to the new version, and you're going to see it echoed on the screen here. So as it starts to boot, you'll actually see 6.7 update 3. There's that little issue where sometimes it doesn't resize the window dynamically like you expect after you touch it. Oh, that was a little weird, but okay. So yeah, this is the earliest way to check what version of the hypervisor you have. We should see a version showing up shortly here. You're actually going to see it downloading, loading, or attempting to load a whole bunch of bibs. HSI, NVMe, and so forth. UEFI secure boot not enabled, I noticed. Okay, there it is. Including a build number, ends in 388. So if we do over here on the right, Control F, 0388. How about we do the whole thing, 1432038. Does that show up anywhere? Well, not yet, because all I did was cut and paste the version number from their table. Well, gosh, that was slow. It did show up. Did you see that? Now it shows 1-to-1 and it shows an L there. Okay, so it did work. Version is right embedded there. A successful upgrade. Now, does everything function as it should? Well, I'll find that out soon enough. But yeah, I'd say I'm ready to wrap this video very soon. The upgrade did succeed. And I'll be able to top off my announcement and download articles I'm trying to get published. So that's good. That's behind me. But remember, there's still VCSA hanging out, waiting for me to pay attention to it. And it's apparently still not looking so great for logging in. So I may want to try another browser or get a little, try some different stuff. Do we get the same behavior? Sure seems like it. Okay. That one doesn't even get the login button. So deprecated. Let you launch it, but I can't log in. HTML5. Login shows gray. Man, is there a certificate change or something? I don't know what's going on. I'm going to try a third browser. See if we get any difference of behavior. Dang. So I've got some sort of browser issue. Tripping me up on Chrome and Firefox. So I'm going to have some work to do there. Yeah. So certificate warning there. Alright. Shouldn't have any warning here because I've imported the cert. I don't know. And if you look here, you have padlock. So, weird, but it's good. The appliance is done. It updated. I can get in and now see. Ta-da! There I am. 67142. Okay, with the right build number. How about taking a little more time to check this out? Go to the host screen here. That's the wrong host. Go to this guy. You would expect it to challenge me to log in again because, well, I rebooted it, right? Alright, here we go. Should show 6.7 update 3. Nice! Uptime 0 days. So that's about it. Probably gonna keep thinking about what might be going wrong with my browsers there. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this in my clipboard. And let's see if a different browser session has the same issue. So different user profile in Chrome, I should have said. Come on. Not the greatest hotel Wi-Fi here. So this would tend to hint at, cookies or something else being kind of borked. Yep. Okay, so it works on a different profile in Chrome just fine. Should have thought of that a whole lot earlier before bothering to reboot it. So now I'll never know if rebooting was important or not. That's how it goes. Alright. So, how are we going to fix this? So we go here and just make sure it's still broken. Then I'm going to try clearing the cookie. Then I'm going to try clearing cache and stuff. Increasing order of desperation. Alright, and sometimes I forget what I'm doing here and where the setting is that I want. So it's actually not there. It's there. Site settings, cookies. See all of them. search for the ones under VCSA. You see a bunch of them. Remove them all. Did that work? There we go. Remove them all. That's better. And now let's refresh this guy. Okay. As expected, I get the login screen. And I've seen this behavior too. Until you kill the Chrome session for that profile, you may not have any different results. So without killing the cookies, I probably should have tried that as well. But remember, I was having trouble in Firefox too, so it's all a little crazy here. Gosh, the fact that we can't get that in Firefox is pretty goofy. But to be fair, I'm not even sure if that was working in Firefox before the issue with this post-upgrade weirdness in the browser. Just not going so well. Alright. So now what? Okay, I'm going to delete all cached images and hosted app data. We're suddenly getting increasingly desperate. Just this one profile that's hosted, but that's the one I use for my vSphere administration. And what do you know? Came right up. Weird, because I got an icon problem there. Whoa. Okay, I can't just leave off the video like that. Got to play with the cache a little more. I say the word play. It's not really playing, but notice it's fine in ESXi host client, but over here, not so much, right? So check this out. Control F12. Sorry. F12. Developer mode. So if we disable cache, might get things looking normal again. There we go. Let's get that back. Okay, so you can see some corrupted icons, some goofiness here, right? But disable cache is turned on. So what happens if I hit F5 now? The cache is disabled. Well, it's checking page download time and all that in the bottom, but also all the corruption here goes away. So clearly I had a cache issue. And that's it. And actually one of my sons showed me that trip, who helps me with my website stuff and development stuff. So how silly and small was that fix? But there it is. I now have a non-corrupt one. So remember the standalone icon for VCSA? Let's check that out. How did I get into a state where I ended up with corruption? I don't know. But I saw it before, cleared it, and now tonight it struck me again after a code upgrade. Really weird, right? But it happened. Alright, so 6.7, update 1. That is a wrap. Feel a lot better now. I'll sleep like a baby knowing it's all working and looking good and successful upgrade. And you know what? There's something really important. I can't stop recording the video because I didn't delete the snapshot. Can't just leave a snapshot hanging out there. It's going to affect performance and all that, right? So VCSA is now working. So you got to go to Snapshot Manager. And actually, I already know, I'm just deleting them all. That's it. Now at the bottom, it's removing all snapshots. So my upgrade to 6.7 for the home lab, it is now complete. That's it. Thanks for watching and thanks for visiting TinkerTry. IT at home. Happy home labbing.